Hi, my name is Isabella Ferreira. I play Bailey in Incoming, and this is Young Entertainment.
At Young Entertainment, we're sort of all about master classes. And you are an actor, so I would love to hear about what it's like for you as an actor in the field. So, first of all, how do you get ready for an audition?
How do I get ready for an audition? I start by, of course, reading the sides. Hopefully, they've also sent the script so I can just really dive in there, break it down, break down my character, what her intentions are, what her motives are, break down the storyline. I, of course, memorize the lines. And yeah, I just feel like memorizing the lines is the most important part for me because I want to be able to feel free when I'm doing auditions and I'm able to play around and make different choices. So yeah, just really trying to understand who this character is as a person.
Awesome. And since you brought up memorizing lines, for those of us who have difficulty memorizing and for our aspiring actors watching, how do you find it easiest to memorize lines? Do you have any tips and tricks?
Mhm. I think it's really important to understand the intention of every line that you're saying, because it just helps you while you're actually on set filming, understand what's actually going on. So, and then another little small trick that I like to do is sometimes I think it's called a mnemonic device where basically I'll take the first letter of every word, especially if it's a scene that includes a longer monologue that's kind of a little harder to grasp. And I'll take the first letter of every word and just write that down and go over the monologue a few times and then just look at the letters. And then sooner or later, once you just do that a few times, you just got the hang of it.
Wow, wow. That's pretty cool. I love that. I like hearing how people think. That's nice.
Right.
And are there any things besides, like you said, your mnemonic devices that you have learned from your previous roles that you said to yourself coming into this one, you know what? I really need to remember to do this or that. That'll really help me get into character.
Yeah, I think it's mainly just comes down to being truthful in your performance and being present and also listening. When you're in a scene, it's really easy to kind of stay in your head, especially I speak for myself, so the more things that you can do to get out of that space and just be present in the scene, the better. And I think the best way to do that is by listening.
Yeah, that's amazing. And obviously, you are currently a very accomplished actor, and you are well on your way to seeing you in so many things. For people just starting out, what's some advice that you can give to them, such as, getting an agent, how do you get an agent, and what that communication is like between an actor and their agent?
Right. The advice I would give, one, headshots. Headshots are so, so important. Take classes. I think classes are important. Take them with different people as well, so you can learn different methods. And as far as getting an agent, I think the most important thing is to find an agent that genuinely believes in you and shares the same goals as you. I think communication is so, so important. So being able to feel comfortable with your agent is like ideal.
Awesome, yeah. And obviously, you've worked on some various different things, such as in Love, Simon, you played Pilar. Were there any aspects of that character that you brought onto Bailey?
Bailey and Pilar are just two completely different girls. So I wouldn't say I necessarily brought anything specifically from Pilar to bring into Bailey. Um, but I definitely understood the whole siblings best friend trope. So it was cool to like kind of be on the other end of the spectrum for that.
Yeah, yeah. And obviously, you've had the opportunity to work with some other good actors. I would love to, talk about some of the actors you've worked with and see if, in your perspective, they've given you some like notes or advice that you've taken with you. So a couple of people that I have listed, Anthony Turpel,
Hmm.
has he given you anything?
Definitely. Oh my gosh, Anthony Turpel, he's my best friend in real life today, and I'm so forever grateful for that show, for bringing us together. We're basically family now. Yeah, he is such a special kind of actor. He truly puts 100% in everything that he does. He's so genuine and truthful, and I think what I learned from him is the whole being present thing and kind of just getting out of your head. He also is really good at making bold choices on set, which again, like I'll read a scene and I read it one way, but he'll go and he'll make it something completely different, but in such a beautiful way. So I think really just putting myself out there and being bold with the choices that I decide to make, he definitely taught me that.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's super cool. Sounds like even though, you are playing one character, but it's very collaborative, trying to learn things from other people. That's amazing.
Definitely, definitely. He's incredible. He's such a talented actor.
Awesome. And what about Michael Cimino?
Yes. Michael Cimino. Oh, I love that boy. He is my brother in real life to this day as well. He is such a golden retriever in real life. So it's really cool to see how he kind of, embodies a character, but also you'll always see a little bit of himself in that character. Like he just has such a light about him, and every character that he plays, you can see that and it's projected and it's really nice to watch. He's always just so likable, which can be annoying sometimes, but he's so good at being able to do that.
Those are the best kinds of people. Like sometimes
Right.
you feel annoying, but it's hard not to love you. So
Of course, of course.
I love that. What about Joshua Colley?
Joshua Colley, oh my baby boy, I love him so bad. I just actually watched Descendants 4. He killed it. He's so beyond talented. I mean, those Broadway chops really came into play. But yeah, I mean, he's just so funny, and he also just kind of puts his all into his characters, and he's such a light as well. I mean, I think anybody that he works with, he makes them feel just so comfortable and loved and safe and respected. So it's really nice to see just how genuine he is as a person and what he brings to his work through that.
Sweet. And what about Anthony Cavan?
Anthony Kavon, oh, he's a phenomenal actor. He just finished Exo Kitty season 2, which is so fun. And I remember watching the first season and being able to see him work. And yeah, he's just so I feel like he plays a lot of like really sassy, like strong characters, which is always so fun because he's kind of like that in real life. He's a very strong person. And so the way that he's able to bring it to screen in a different way with different character personalities is always so cool. He's awesome.
Aw. And what about Rowan Blanchard and Ali Carvalho? Because I know you also did a film with them. So I'm sure that was a really cool experience and you learned a lot from them as well.
Right. I mean, Rowan Blanchard, she's a star. Any room she walks into, everyone just stops and stares. She just has this presence about her. But specifically for Crush, it was really cool to see how, she really differentiates herself from the character. She's so beyond different from Paige, but she really made that character who she was. She fully embodied it. And yeah, she's a really great person to work with. Ali'i, she's a beautiful, beautiful girl. She has such an innocence about her with everything that she does and every character she plays. And again, specifically Crush, she played Paige, my sister, who was a little bit more angsty and kind of like laid back to herself, skater girl, which again is so different from her in person, but she still brings an innocence to it, which is really pretty to see on screen.
Oh, wow. And I'm sure every person that we've mentioned would have amazing things to say about you as well. Can only imagine all the things that you've taught them.
I hope so.
Awesome. So, okay. Now, hair and makeup and costume are often really important things in terms of putting the character together on screen. But I'd love to hear for you, for the character Bailey, what aspect of character, makeup, and costume really helped you get into character?
Right. I mean, honestly, the reason Incoming is so meaningful to me, or one of the reasons, is because I think it's probably the second project where I used my natural hair,
Mhm.
and that was really fun because I haven't been able to do that often, whether or not like the character just doesn't have curly hair, or even my decision sometimes too myself. I think it's really hard, and all my curly hair girls know like it is hard to find somebody that you trust to work with your hair. So We had an amazing hairdresser, Kelly, if you're watching this, shout out. She was beautiful and she was so kind, and she also had curly hair, so she knew how to deal with it. And I think it was really nice to finally be able to play a character where I was able to represent that and kind of embrace my natural hair, and show that off in a character as well. So it played a huge role in creating who Bailey was.
Do you have a go-to curly hair product?
Oh, I have so many. I think I go through so many routines, always trying to master the perfect one. But the Miss Jessie's curl cream, I don't remember which one specifically, but honestly, all of their products are so, so good. So Miss Jessie's curl cream, be on the
Okay,
lookout.
everybody, write that down. Write that down. You
Yeah.
heard it here. You heard it here. I love it. All right. So now incoming, I'm sure there are probably many challenging parts about making this film and your character. Is there anything that you felt was particularly difficult to overcome, and how were you able to overcome it?
Yeah, I mean, for honestly, there wasn't anything specifically challenging, at least for me on set, because this movie is just so fun and everyone just had a blast while filming. I guess the only thing I could really say is trying not to laugh on set. Everyone is so, so funny. So it was really hard for me to like actually be able to stay in character because I'm like, dang, wait, I'm supposed to like be in this. I can't be laughing. I'm not the audience right now. So yeah, just not laughing on set.
That's wonderful because it sounds like you guys all had a really great relationship. Did it feel like you were just among family and friends the whole time?
Definitely, definitely. I mean, I say this all the time, but it felt kind of like a summer camp. Everyone, it just felt like a really fun time just working with people that felt like friends more than anything.
Oh, that's amazing. And I'm sure probably leading up to the very first day on set, were you feeling like you didn't know what to expect? Like, what was that first day filming like?
I was nervous. I was so nervous. I mean, I'm always nervous on the first day of any project, but I just again, I didn't know what to expect. I knew that Caitlin Olsen was gonna be there, and I was like, oh my gosh, like she's so iconic, she's amazing, she's the funniest person ever. But it ended up being wonderful. It was so much fun. Again, it just was filled with laughter. I think before my first scene, I was kind of just hanging around on set, and Caitlin had a scene where she's like screaming and just like she's doing such crazy improv, and that was so cool to watch. But I was just behind the scenes, just like holding my mouth, like I can't make a peep right now. So it was really fun overall.
Oh, nice. And since you brought up like improv, were there any moments that you had in which, you guys were just going off the cuff, doing a little improv that wasn't actually in the script, but actually ended up making it into the film?
Mhm. I What I can think of right now, honestly, and it's so silly, but it's so funny to me because at the time I just so did not want to do this. At the end of the film, I have a little wink moment, which is it's funny because I didn't know how to wink on set, and this wasn't scripted. I don't know who behind the scenes was like, "Oh, like let's have her wink." I want to talk. I want to have a little chat. I'm over here on set like trying to like figure out like, "Oh, which eye should I wink on?" I don't know what to do. In the end, when I watched it back, it was super cute and a very, very cute moment. But at the time, I was just like, oh, this is gonna be so cringe because I don't know how to wink. This is awful.
Wow. I'm trying to imagine that and you're just like, okay, all right, all right. Sometimes I would definitely like to ask actors if there was a scene that they did in which they didn't feel like at the moment that they were gonna like it, but when they watched it back, it turned out amazing. Would you say this was that moment, or was there something else in which you weren't sure how it was gonna come out, but ended up really loving it when you saw it back?
Right. Well, I don't want to say too much without giving the film away, but I will say there is a scene that involves VFX. And I didn't know at the time how it would end up looking. I mean, it's VFX, so you don't know until you actually see the film. But I watched the film and I looked at it back and I was like, okay, this actually came out well, but a little too well. Again, I don't want to say too much without spoiling it, but definitely a scene that involved VFX.
Okay, okay, we'll look out for that one. Okay, so in this film, you also worked with Mason Thames, who played Benji Nielsen. And I know you guys ended up having a kissing scene, which obviously you were in Love, Simon, so that's not even new to you. But do you have any insight in like how you and your fellow actor, scene partner were able to create a moment for audience that, makes us go, "Aw, we love that," you know?
Yeah, I mean, for any kissing scene, it's always going to be a little awkward. It's so unnatural to have an intimate scene when you have 100+ crew watching you and a big camera in your face. But I think what's most important with scenes like that is communication and making sure, or reassuring that everything feels safe and everyone feels respected. And I think the intimacy coordinator on set and the directors, Dave and John, did a really good job at making it such a comfortable space for both of us. And so, yeah, I mean, I think we both had conversations about it. I think I even had a conversation with his mom at one point just to make sure everything was all good and well and that, he felt comfortable and we were both good to go. But yeah, I think it's just all about communication and knowing everyone's boundaries.
Yeah, yeah. How did the conversation with his mom go? She was like, "Yeah, you know what?
She's
You do you.
doing
You do
his thing.
you."
He's working. He's professional. Like, okay, mama, I got you. I got you. Don't
I
worry.
love that. A
Yeah,
mom's stamp of approval is always extremely important.
of
So
course, of course.
that's amazing. So, we have talked with some other actors who have talked about the importance of music for them. Some people said that, when they're trying to get into character, they might listen to a certain playlist or a song to get them in the mindset, or even coming out of that character, they might listen to something to help them decompress. Has that been something that you've done, or do you have any connection to music with your characters or your acting?
Yes, definitely. Love music. I think it definitely is a great way to evoke emotions. And so specifically for me, I create playlists for every character that I play. And also I create a separate playlist for kind of the storyline or overall tone of the film. And I think that just really helps me, like I said, evoke any kind of emotions that I need to. And also with every character that I play, obviously they're all different. And so I kind of want to be in their space a little bit. Just music I think that they would listen to, even if I necessarily wouldn't. This is me just trying to, help myself embody the character truly and truthfully.
Wow, that's amazing. Do you remember any of the names that you've given to your playlist?
Well, for the characters, I just call it like, oh, Bailey's playlist. But I know for Bailey specifically, a song that I had on repeat, at least for the overall storyline and tone of what my character's direction is, I had Best Friend's Brother by Victoria Justice on repeat.
Mm,
I think it was just so fun and it definitely like helped me get into that, vibe, what was going on.
yeah. Wow, that's a throwback song. That's a good one. You sounds
Such
like you make some amazing playlists. Maybe you'll have to send them to us so that we
Oh,
can.
I got you, girl. Let me know. I'll send it over.
I'd love that. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so obviously, it's been a journey for you and the acting career. And, as other actors, as they come up in this industry, it can be a bit of a challenge. But here you are, you've made it, you're doing your thing. What does that feel like to have really achieved your dreams to being a professional actor?
Honestly, it feels so surreal. I think about it every day. I'm always just so entirely grateful to be doing something that I'm so passionate about and I love to do. And like you said, it is a really, really hard industry. So to even be able to work as much as I have, like I can't thank God enough. It's also funny, like I just was just talking about this with my friend the other day. It's also kind of a culture shock because I hate to use the whole cliche, oh, I'm just a girl from, but I really am just a girl from Kensington, Philadelphia, where nobody was really having conversations about, oh, yeah, I want to be an actor or I want to be in the entertainment industry. If anything, it was kind of laughed upon in a way, like, oh, yeah, yeah, right, as if. And then I talked to people that are from Cali. And so, it's not unnatural to hear, oh yeah, I'm an actor, I'm working in the industry. It's kind of like, oh yeah, everyone's doing that, right? So, when I go back home or I'm in Jersey now. So like when I go over there and I talk to people, they're like, I can't believe you're actually doing this. I'm like, I can't either. Like this is wild. I would have never thought, but I give so much thanks to my mom. I think having supportive people in your life is so, so important. And she believed in me since day one. You know, I think I was what, 10 or 9 years old when I told her I want to do this. And she's like, I got you. She figured out what I needed to do, the headshots, getting the agent, taking the classes, and one thing led to another. And, you know, thankfully it actually worked out, but it definitely is very, very difficult. And I just can't believe it every day. Like it really is a process of luck, but you know, I'm very thankful.
No, no, it's definitely not just luck because, as you said, you've worked really hard to get here. And I think it shows on screen, and you seem to have a wonderful personality. So it's well deserved. Of
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
course, of course. Now, when you were on set, I'm sure you had a little bit of downtime with your cast members and things. What were some things you guys like to do when you weren't like on the set?
Yeah, I mean, we just goofed off really. Again, it felt like a big summer camp in the way that like once we were finished the scene, we were over here like either doing karaoke or just like I don't know, learning handshakes and stuff. It was really fun, super cute. We'd take pictures. While we were filming, we were still going through the whole COVID of it all. So we couldn't necessarily like do too much. We had like these masks and shields and stuff, but we tried to make the best of it. So it was always a fun time offset.
That sounds amazing. Do you have any funny stories that happen offset that you will always remember you want to share with us?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many to think from. And this was 2 years ago. So honestly, my brain is a little bit in shambles, but specifically, I guess Mason and I actually made a handshake. And we thought it was the coolest handshake ever. We thought it was so fun, so great. I remember him posting it. And we started to get, I don't want to say hate, but people were kind of hating on our handshake only because we had a bark in our handshake, which sounds odd, but it felt fun at the time. Okay.
Well, you know, it wasn't about them anyway, so who cares? It's about y'all. I love
Exactly.
that.
But it was so fun.
Aw. Well, I want to ask you some rapid fire questions, but before I do, I just want you to tell us what you hope that people will get from you and your acting when they're watching Incoming.
Yes, I hope that people will feel the fun that I had while portraying this character, honestly, and obviously the authenticity of it all. But yeah, I just hope that people, you know, see the light that I tried to bring to Bailey and they feel something from it and they laugh and maybe even cry if they need to. So yeah, I think, you know, I hope that they just see that I hopefully did a good job.
I think they definitely will. I don't think there's any doubt that they'll see that you did an amazing job.
Aw, thank you.
Of course. All right, so you ready for some rapid fire questions?
I think so. We'll see.
All right, let's get into it. All right, tell me about the first time you were ever on set.
The first time I was ever on set. Um, Actually, it's quite funny because the first time I was ever on set was on Orange is the New Black as a background.
Mm.
I did a background job and then what, like 5 years later, I ended up back on the set, but as a recurring character. So that was kind of like a whoa, when worlds collide moment.
Full
Yeah.
circle moment.
Orange is the New Black as a background was my first time on set.
Nice. And what about your first ever audition?
My first ever audition, I think was for a Spectrum commercial, which I ended up getting a call back for, but I didn't end up getting the job, unfortunately. But
Oh.
love you, Spectrum. Thank you.
Thank you. I've come so far now.
Thank you so much.
Exactly. All right. What about the first time you had to cry on cue?
The first time I had to cry on cue, I want to say that it was for the ending of season one of Love Victor. I
Mm.
think I'm talking with Victor or Michael, and I kind of had to like be emotional because I'm just like venting to him about why my life is a mess and I can't believe he betrayed me and all the things. So yeah, love Victor.
And what about the first on-screen kiss?
My first on-screen kiss was actually on the set of the Joker movie, which my scene ended up getting cut, which is so unfortunate, but probably for the best.
Mm.
It was really crazy because the first time I had to kiss somebody on like on camera was while Joaquin Phoenix is just staring at us dead into our souls. So that was really weird and strange, but such a cool experience.
That does sound very uncomfortable, but very cool at the same time. Okay,
Definitely.
is there a particular celebrity or maybe even celebrities that you've always wanted to work with?
Mark Ruffalo,
Hmm.
Zendaya, and Florence Pugh, I
Oh,
think are some of my top. I mean, I have so many, but from what I can think right now, definitely those three. Mark Ruffalo, I mean, I think he's just so cool, and I just would
mhm.
love to be on set with him one day. Zendaya, she's beautiful. Her acting is phenomenal. I would love to learn from her. And Florence Pugh, I mean, anything that girl touches turns to gold. So I think I could learn so much from her as well.
Yeah, she is really good. I do love her and everything she's in.
She's
Okay,
amazing.
do you have a favorite line from a TV show or movie?
Probably what? Like it's hard from Legally Blonde.
That's, that's a
I
good
think
one.
I stand by that always. And I kind of say it to myself on the daily, even when I'm feeling like doubtful about a situation or, kind of nervous about something. I just say it. I repeat it. I'm like, what? Like it's hard? It's not even hard. I got this. I can do anything.
I love that. Yeah, inspiration. I love it. Going off of that, do you have a particular song that you listen to that pumps you up before you go on set or before a scene?
A specific song? I don't think I necessarily have a specific song, but I mean anything Kesha will pump me up. Anything old Kesha, you got me there. Like that'll get me in the way in in the mood. Um,
Awesome. Honestly, you're not wrong. She's great.
Great.
Do you have a favorite snack that you used to eat on set?
My favorite snack. Oh, well, I basically live at Crafty. So anything that's there, I will get my hands on and I will probably eat it. But I do like to stay more towards the fruits. I just love fruits personally, but I think it's probably the best option when you're working long hours. You don't want to feel too heavy. So fruit, I'll eat all day. My berries, oh, they're my favorite things ever.
Awesome. And this is my last question for you. What was the first TV show or film that made you want to become an actor?
The first TV film or TV or film. Wizards of Waverly Place, Selena Gomez. I think that was the first time I saw someone like me represented on screen. And I loved Disney Channel growing up. So I was like, I want to do that. But also The Florida Project,
Mm.
which is a movie. And I think it kind of changed my life at such a young age. I watched it at a time where I don't even think I fully understood what the movie was about, but the young girl in it, Brooklyn Prince, she is a phenomenal actress and she made me feel things at such a young age and that really inspired me to want to do that even if I didn't really understand what the storyline was because I was young and I rewatch it now and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is so sad." But she made me feel something and that really inspired me to want to do something like this and make people feel things.
Yeah. And obviously you're doing it and you're doing amazing at it. So
Thank you so
love
much.
it. Well, thank you so much for coming on today and answering some questions for Young Entertainment.
It's Isabella Ferreira. Thank you so much for watching and don't forget to subscribe to Young Entertainment.